Hey everybody, in this tutorial we're going to talk about how to import in iAvatars and iAccessories into CrazyTalk 8.1. So this is one of the coolest new features of 8.1. Keep in mind that to be able to do this, you'll need to have a CrazyTalk 8 pipeline in order to import iClone content into your CrazyTalk 8 project. In addition, if you want to purchase iClone content from the Content Store Marketplace, you'll need to have at least a copy of iClone Standard to do that as well, so keep that in mind. And we're going to be showing you how to import in these cool looking kind of characters from iClone. Get some really creative results in CrazyTalk 8 in just a moment. So let's go over to iClone here. We have our default character creator Natalie on the stage. Now in addition, keep in mind that you will not be able to import in G3 or G5 characters or any previous characters. You'll only be able to import in characters with the character creator base, okay, into CrazyTalk 8. Alright, so let's take in Natalie into CrazyTalk 8 and see how we get about this. All we really need to do is just drag her in from the library. And you can see Natalie imports in just fine right there. If we press play, you can see her hair is not moving around a lot, and that's because we need to activate the physics by going down here and selecting physics on. Alright, and then we get the cool physics results and her hair kind of flowing in the wind and everything like that. Alright, so just make sure you have physics on if you want spring effects or hair effects or anything like that. And here's just another quick example of Natalie with some female natural movement here. You can see the nice physics on the hair right there. So keep in mind that a lot of the characters have hair physics, and you can apply those in CrazyTalk 8 as well, which is pretty awesome. Now you may notice that Natalie's face texture looks a little bit different than if we go into iClone and zoom in on the face. You can see we have some nice specular reflection on the face. Now, new with CrazyTalk 8.1 is the ability to go up to the Create menu now and go to Material Settings. And if we select the skin on the head, we can increase the specular value right here in addition to in combination with the glossiness. And we can get some nice depth and specular highlights on the face by adjusting those values right there. You don't want anything too extreme, but just maybe enough to kind of give you that nice reflective look on the face right there. Okay? Just to add some more depth and more realism to the skin. And we can do the same thing for the body as well. If you select the, make sure we select the skin on the body there and go to specular and increase the specular and glossiness in combination there as well. And you can do the same thing for the body. Alright, so that's really cool. Now let's take a look at the last value, which is the self-illumination value. I'm going to import in a different character for that. Let's go back into iClone, into iAvatars, and into the stylized character morphs. I'm going to import in this token motion character, Chris. This is a pretty cool looking character. You can see him there in all his handsome glory. Now what I'm going to do with this character is I'm going to import in an RLHead because CrazyTalk 8, iClone, and Character Creator all share the same RLHead technology, so they're universal. You can import them back and forth. So let's go ahead and find an RLHead in iClone by going into the head section here. And let's go to RLHead. And I've downloaded this Gary Pye's Comic Faces pack. Alright, so I'm going to take this hero character, since he's very suitable for the body type on Chris, the token motion character. And you'll have some options here. You want to import in the head morph, definitely. You want to import in the texture as well. And generally you want to select head and body because you want the skin texture on the head to match the body. Otherwise it would keep the original body texture. Okay? So let's just go ahead and press OK. And there you get your Gary Pye character with the nice hand-drawn face there, and the body has stayed the same, but the skin has adapted to match the texture color on the face there as well. Okay, so we got this nice result right here. And if we want, we can apply a motion to our character just to see what it looks like in the voice script folder. Let's try this bragging motion right here.
Ha! So what? You can't touch me.
You can see the nice results we get there. From a 2D image to a 3D model head there, so that's pretty cool. Now for self-illumination, if you have stylized toon characters like this and they have like toon shading or something, you may not want this kind of artificial shadowing from CrazyTalk 8. So you can go to Create, Material Settings, and just change your self-illumination value to the highest level. And that'll take away all the artificial shadowing from CrazyTalk 8 and only leave the original shadowing. If I go to Skin, Body and do the same, you can see the result right there as well. Okay, so it really depends on what kind of stuff you want. Now, a better example of this might be if I go into our 3D actors and load up our embedded Nasser character here. You can see Nasser has very obvious toon shading right here. So let's try the same thing for him, and I'll show you a little bit of a better example here. If I go to Skin and under Head, take self-illumination, and we get rid of all that kind of gradual shadows, and we only have the 3-tone toon shading right there. Okay, so it's useful for that type of scenario. Now let's talk about importing iAccessories, and to do this I'm going to bring in that same pig that we saw before. Let's go to avatars here under Tokemotion Stylized Animals. We have Rudy the pig. Let's click and drag Rudy in to CrazyTalk 8. And Rudy has a little pigtail that's been removed. It's actually an accessory. Anytime you import a character with accessories into CrazyTalk 8, it will remove those accessories. It will retain the eye hairs if your character has eye hair attached to it, but it'll remove all the accessories. You'll have to add those accessories separately. So keep that in mind, okay? So let's go back into iClone, and I have a custom accessory saved from one of our developer Ali's content packs, this Toon Frog hat. Let's bring in Rudy into iClone here as well. We'll replace Natalie on the screen here. You can see he's a lot shorter maybe. Let's take that same hat and apply it to him. Toon Frog hat right here. And just click and drag it. And you can see it's made for a taller character who can easily just press the W hotkey and position it bloop, right on his head, or rotate it or whatever we want. But I think that looks fine. All right. Now let's take that same Toon Frog hat, this iAccessory, and let's bring it into CrazyTalk 8. Now when we do that, we'll get this little import accessory window, and it prompts us to select a section of the face or the body that we want to attach it to. In this case, I'm going to attach it to the C section, which is right in the middle of the forehead there. And then you can scale, rotate, and move it. So let's go ahead and move it a little bit down on the Z-axis. I'm going to press 0 on the Z-axis, and that brings it right to the middle of his head. Now, if you press this default home key right here, that'll basically bring it forward. So if the accessory is hidden somewhere in the character's head, for example, use this default key and it'll bring it directly forward, normally a little bit on the Y-axis there. Okay, and so if you don't want it to be right there, you can also go ahead and press the reset button, and that'll reset it back to the original position that it imported in. So let's just use that reset value right now, and let's bring it a little bit lower on the Z-axis, just by entering in 10, I believe. And we can also use the up and down arrow keys to increase and decrease the values right there. I find that very useful. Maybe we can scale it a little bit as well. Go to Scale, lock the X, Y, Z axes, and make our hat a little bit smaller there. Maybe rotate it and rotate it on the X axis, a little bit up like that. And then we can go ahead and press up and down. And you can see when we press down, it's a little bit off his head, a lot actually. And if we go to left and right, we can see it's way too far back. So let's go to right. Let's go to move, and let's bring it up on the Y-axis there, so it's actually sitting atop his head. And then we go to down, we can see it from above, right there. Probably want to bring it a little bit up on the Z-axis, maybe rotate it slightly. Whoops, that's the move. Rotate it slightly on the X-axis there. And I think we're fine right there. Let's move it a little bit up maybe, and default pose. There you go. There's our top hat on top of our pig. All right, once you're finished with that, you can just go ahead and press apply. And ta-da, we now have this hat that's applied to our pig right there, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and try one more. Let's go to iClone, and this time I'm going to go to my template folder and import in an accessory from the ToonMaker pack. We'll talk about our ToonMaker pack more in our advanced accessory import tutorial, but for now I'm just going to go to ToonMaker under Beard, and I'm going to import in this beard, or this mustache, heavy-duty mustache right here. So if we import it into CrazyTalk, let's just attach it to the F section, which is right where the mustaches are supposed to be, and we can move it down on the Z-axis, again just by using the arrow key right to about there, and that looks pretty awesome. Very simple application. Go ahead and apply. And there's our banker pig from the 1800s with his mustache and his top hat, and everything is fine and dandy. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is material settings. I'm going to bring in a different character for this, also from the our developer Tokemotion. Let's minimize those accessories and open up the iAvatars. And Tokemotion, we're going to use a stylized character morphs pack. I'm going to bring in our boy Ramon here. So let's bring in Ramon. And there he is, handsome fella. I'm going to bring in a couple more accessories for Ramon. Let's go to the accessories section and Monster Workshop. I'm going to bring in a spring part. You can see there's spring parts indicated by a little spring in the bottom right there. and you'll see the spring effect in CrazyTalk 8 when we bring it in as well. I'm going to apply this mohawk to our boy's head here, and this probably needs to be scaled down. We need to attach it to the C section first. Scale it down a little bit first of all, maybe to about 0.8 or something, nothing too small. And we probably want to bring it down on the Z-axis there as well. Into his head, and then into his head, and then probably a little bit back on the Y-axis. Not forward, backwards. There we go. So it looks like he has a cool looking mohawk now. And then we'll go ahead and just apply it right there. Now if we play back, you can see the mohawk spring effect right there, just bouncing back and forth. Pretty cool. Alright, so that's spring props, can be imported in from iClone as well. Let's try one more, and this is from the Party Fun Pack, which you can also purchase from the CrazyTalk 8 marketplace. You don't need iClone for this Party Fun Pack stuff, but I like these star glasses that you can apply to characters. These are rock star glasses for sure. There you go. We'll just apply those to the E section of the head and bring them a little bit forward. Let's go to the right and probably bring them a little bit forward on the Y-axis there, just so they're not cutting into his eyebrows there. And I believe a little bit forward and maybe a little bit up as well on the X-axis. There we go. Maybe rotate them forward on the X-axis there as well. There we go. I think that's good. Let's get moved up on the Z-axis so they're not cutting too much into his nose. There we go. I think that looks fine and dandy. We're going to leave it at that and go ahead and press apply. So now I want to talk to you about the materials, like I mentioned before, for the accessories. Now the first thing you can do is go to Create and go to Material Settings, just like I showed you for this skin before. But we also have this Accessory tab up here. And here you can select the glasses by selecting the E section here. And these glasses have two separate material sections. So if I select the lens, for example, or the glass frames, which are called star glasses, and I increase the specular, you can see the result right there. It makes them more metallic and more shiny looking, like a real rock star would have. And we can also do the same thing with the lenses. Increase the specular right there, and you can see the resulting effect. Okay, so that's how you can really change the materials right here. If you wanted to self-illuminate them as well, you could do that, but it doesn't really work with transparent lenses. We can also go to the hair and do the same thing, but for the hair, I'm going to close this down right now. For the hair, I'm going to go to Create, and we're going to go to Accessory Settings. Now, Accessory Settings, you can adjust the brightness, hue, contrast, and saturation right here. If I select the hair right here from my little dummy up here, I can just change the hue of that hair. Let's give us more of a side view here, something like that. There we go. And we can change the hue to like all sorts of funky colors. Brightness and contrast, we can adjust those as well, and we get a really kind of almost looks like a supernova type hair right there. All right, but that's how you can really adjust the color values and the specular and glossiness values of your accessories as well. So we have Ramon here just rocking out with a totally different style. You can see the nice specular reflection off of those glasses as well. Alright, so that's basically it for the material settings. Now let's talk about how you can save accessories and your characters. So if you want to save your accessories, you can just go ahead over here to Actor Elements tab, go to the Custom tab up here, and make sure you're in Actor Elements and under Accessories in the Custom tab, and then just press the plus button down here. It'll give you a choice between your glasses and your hair. If I want to save the glasses, I can just go ahead and press OK. We'll call them Star Glasses, for lack of a better name. And then you can do the same thing for the mohawk as well. So let's go to select the hair, press OK, and we'll call it Mohawk. Cool, so now we have those custom saved accessories. If we want to save the character himself, we can just go up here to Actors and go to Custom, 3D Actors in here, or it doesn't really have to be 3D Actors, it can really be anywhere. But you can just go here and press the plus button. We'll call him Ramon the Rockstar. Here the name is a little bit long, but there you go. We have Ramon the Rockstar saved, and we can reapply him at any time with these same accessories. So let's go ahead and try to bring in a different character first. I'm going to go back to iClone here and into our avatars, and we'll try a Tokamotion stylized kid pack. Now this kid Richie has hair originally, but when I bring him into CrazyTalk 8, he's not going to be imported in with hair. And the reason for that is that his hair is actually saved as an accessory. Some characters may have their hair saved as accessories and therefore they will be removed. The hair will be removed, not the characters. Alright, so let's go to actor elements right here, custom again. We can just double click the mohawk, apply it to our character, double click the star glasses, and they may need some repositioning. So again, create accessory settings. Let's reposition them star glasses, maybe a little bit down on the Z-axis here, and perhaps a little bit forward as well. There we go. And I think we're good. Maybe scale it a little bit more on the X-axis there as well. Need to be a slight bit wider, I think, to wrap around his big old head. We'll do the same thing for the hair. Probably just bring it down a little bit. The hair looks fine. There we go. And we are good to go. So let's go ahead and also, if you want, you can delete accessories here as well. I forgot to mention that by selecting the accessory and just pressing the delete button if you want to delete any of the accessories. But I think we're okay right now. Let's go ahead and just play this back. So now we have this spring-loaded Richie the Rockstar. We had Ramon the Rockstar, now we have Richie the Rockstar. So that's really about all there is to it, guys. Like I mentioned before, I will have a tutorial on advanced accessory import, where we'll talk about accessories with dummies and everything, like some of the TuneMaker accessories have. We'll also talk about how to save your prop as an accessory in iClone and then import that into CrazyTalk 8, originating from Google 3D Warehouse, where you can get a lot of free models. Okay, so that's about it for this tutorial, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out our other 8.1 tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.